Your cooperation in these matters will be appreciated.
You are entering a new dimension of sights and sounds. It's an autumn Friday night, but the glowing effect of a simple light bulb multiplied 1,000 times has illuminated a rectangular plot of real estate in Bloomington, Minnesota. In the shadows, a throng of interested spectators known as fans who silhouette the movement on the grassy turf below. To the naked eye, this collage of color and collision might appear to be an ordinary high school football game. But it's not. This encounter is between top-ranked Bloomington Jefferson and fourth-ranked Park Center. And tonight, these two teams have entered the highlight zone.
First show is tomorrow night at 7:30. It's KSTP night with tickets half price. It seems like a long time ago when America watched the gold medal hopefuls Ty Babylonia and Randy Gardner withdraw from the 1980 Olympics, but here they are now, professional skaters, and with our own Joe Schmit. Joe?
That's right, Bob. Hooray for Ice, they're calling this year's version of the Ice Capade. Starts tomorrow night. It is KSTP night, and I'm with Ty and Randy right here. And Ty and Randy, it's been a long time. You mentioned 1972, you won your first national championship. 73, right in this building.
Yes, we won our first national championship here. It was a junior championship, and brings back good memories. We were very young. I was 12, and so.
Randy, has a lot changed in that time, Randy?
God, yes. We were itsy-bitsy kids then. We, of course, wanted to compete all through the 70s. That was in 1973. We went to compete in the 70s and then have been professional since 1980. So our lives have changed totally since then.
Of course, the Ice Capades, one of the many things they're doing here is they're having a skating clinic on Wednesday afternoon at 3:30 right at the Met Center. You can come down and watch these folks give some tips. As a matter of fact, I got a little tip here, Ty. Let's get Randy helped us out in this one. We got to show you a quick move here. Let's go. Let's go.
A pair spiral.
All right, let's go. You got to see what we do.
Don't show me up. Don't show off.
Okay.
Yeah. Straighten your legs.
All right.
You got it.
See, now you know how come I want to become an ice skater. That's all I need now are the sequence. I got myself a skater with me. See you,
Okay,
kids.
Joe. All right. Well, there you have it. Joe Schmit and Ty Babylonia.
He can do. Joe McSchmidt here now in all his glory.
You know, the only bad thing about this game is that McMouth wasn't in there for Chicago getting sacked 7 times. It was an outrageous victory, the kind that could make Jim McMahon's hair stand straight up. McMahon did not play today, and his teammates that did play didn't play very well. The Vikes are for real after beating the world champion Bears 23-7. The Vikes went at it right from
land at Twin Cities International Airport in a couple of minutes. Channel 5's Joe Schmit is standing by live at the airport for more on some of those Gopher fans hanging on to arrive and meet the team. Joe?
How big a win was it, Rob? I'll tell you what, we've got an unofficial pep rally going on here at the International Airport. These fans are excited. This was a monumental win for the Gophers. Let's talk to some of the fans. What'd you think of the victory?
Oh, big win. Best win of all time right here.
All right, why did you decide to come out to meet the Gophers?
Wanted my little son to see the Gophers.
And there he is. What do you think of the Gophers today? He's shy, but I'm sure he's happy. Sir, one of the greatest wins you remember as a Gopher fan?
Definitely. Much better than 77. Much better.
You think they got a chance? Do you think they got a chance now at a bowl game?
Yes, very definitely.
Okay. These guys out here all wanted to sing the Rouser. I don't know. You think we ought to let them, Rob?
Sure,
okay, you guys go ahead and sing the Rouser. The Gophers are expected to be in at about 6:45. We're going to try to cut in the programming at that time to show the Gophers and, of course, show that little brown jug, which hasn't been here in a long time. Back to you, Rob.
All right, Joe. We'll check in him.
You are nearing the end of a perilous gridiron journey, a trek that has consumed nearly 1/4 of the space and time known as 1986. It began in the sultry days of August. As the mercury plummeted, so too did the number of travelers on this highway of hopes and dreams. A select few, however, are now gravitating toward an imperious mushroom-like structure of Teflon and concrete. For the victors this weekend, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. It's an invitation a fortnight from now to a gala known as the Prep Bowl. But to reach that destination, they must survive one more pass through the highlight zone. The Highlight Zone is brought to you tonight by your Twin Cities Metro Chrysler Plymouth dealers.
Good evening, everyone. Joe Schmit with you tonight on the Highlight Zone. We've reached the semi.
We know that winter is here, and it'll be a while before all the snow melts, of course.
But for all of the softball players out there, you can stay in shape all winter long with the Batter Size program. Joe Schmit will have a live report on that next in sports.
So you want to bring the bat up and across your shoulders, bringing your elbows back. And simple, you've probably seen Pete Rose or Reggie Jackson doing this. And you want to stretch above your head and then bending your knees at all times, stretching throughout the shoulder, and mostly static stretching, holding the stretching positions like this. And then for your back, you want to, I'd like to see you do this. You want me to hold this for you? There you go.
That's easier said.
Okay. Okay, put your bat right here. Now twist off the palm of your hands. Twist your shoulder down. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
Straight arm.
Oh, yeah.
And the other side.
Okay, now this whole thing here is just...
few last night. You can make shots like that when you're behind a few times, but we can't rely on the outside jump shot to really win a lot of basketball games. We want to have a good inside game as well as outside game.
All right, here's the line right here. As you can see, it starts at the baseline, works its way all the way up to the top of the key. Now, the top of the key is really not that long a shot. You see these guys with college scholarships making it all the time. So we're going to give her a shot once here, see if we can do it on live TV. This is a three-pointer. Swish. got my air ball man there. But anyway, it's a three-pointer, and you're seeing the Gophers, they'll be using it a little bit more this year. Not a whole lot more. And good thing they don't have me shooting it. Other sports tonight, the North Stars, they're playing. They're going after their 6th win in a row. They'll be out in New Jersey. And I can't hit anything. Clem Haskins isn't going to sign me up. And anyway, they're going to be out in New Jersey tonight going for their 6th win in a row. We're going to be back tonight at 6 o'clock to talk to Clem Haskins, who I'm sure will not want to recruit me to shoot baskets.
Joe, stop that guy with the ladder over there and try that, okay?
Oh, okay.
All right.
Slam dunk.
See you later.
Thank you, Joe. Oh, gosh.
I'm Joe Schmit. This is the Gopher football locker room game day. Only a few privileged people can be in this locker room. The players, the coaches, and the host of Gopher Football 86 with John Gutekunst.
Who's that? That's Schmit. He's out.
We'll have highlights from last week's game, plus we'll look at this week's opponent. So if you're not one of the privileged few to be in the Gopher locker room, you can learn about the Gophers every Saturday morning at 11:30 on Gopher Football 86.
This is Goody's show. Maybe we should have been nice to him.
Joe Schmit is in Memphis tonight, and he's there because the Gophers are there. Hi, Joe.
Hi, Angela. We're having a good time out on Beale Street. We're at the Blue Suede Shoes Saloon right on Beale Street in Memphis, Tennessee. You talk about Southern hospitality. These folks really know how to do it up in Memphis. I haven't got my own band right here. It's the R.T. Scott Band. We're going to have a little blues, guys. Blues to do some sports by here tonight, folks. All right. Gopher football. Let's talk about what the Gophers did today. They were given the royal treatment here on Beale Street. That means plenty of good music and plenty of pit barbecue. Those are both time-honored traditions here in Memphis, and the Gophers got a taste of both of them tonight. That's nothing like that Southern hospitality. It's been a long day for the Gophers. It started at about 8:30 this morning. That's when John Gutekunst served up a full workout, full with pads for breakfast. The players have been off for almost a week, and today's 2-hour practice was a healthy reminder that a bowl trip isn't all fun and games. After all, the Gophers did come here to win a football game.
We had a pretty well orchestrated practice this morning, a lot of contact, and it's good. We had a week off and didn't have a chance to practice much over Christmas break, so some guys did some running, but we haven't had the pads on, so we had to get used to carrying them again, and I think it'll help. We have a couple more tomorrow and tune it up on Sunday, so we'll be ready to play.
The vets like Hitch are becoming old pros at the bowl game business, but what about the freshmen who have never experienced bowl week before? Yeah.
A little, because we got more time to prepare for them. You aren't as beat up as you normally are during the season, but other than that, it's pretty much about the same.
So in other words, you'll probably have the freshest legs that you've had since the beginning of the year.
Yeah, probably since around the beginning of the year. It'll feel good.
The Gophers put in their time in the practice field today, and so did Tennessee. Like the Gophers, the Volunteers were 6-5 this year, but they are a slight favorite on Monday, and if you're looking for a reason, take a look at the location. This game is almost a home game for Tennessee. The Gophers, of course, will be expecting a lot of their fans, and they should be coming down as soon as tomorrow. One of their last stops, of course, will be the Liberty Bowl on Monday night. But in the meantime, they'll be sightseeing, and we're going to do a little of that tonight with our own Memphis native. Bob Bruce is back in his home state tonight for the Liberty Bowl. And tonight, Bob takes us on a tour
of Memphis.
Even though the Twins in Memphis.
Thanks, Bobby B. We're just jamming away here, doing the blues in Memphis. We're going to be covering Memphis like you've never seen before. Angela, I got to rock now, but thanks for joining us.
Hey, Joe, all I can say is don't give up the day job, okay? Thanks, Joe. Karen Falloon is next with the weekend weather. Joe Schmit joins us again from Memphis to tell us how the North Stars did tonight. Joe?
You know, Angela, you get here in the birthplace of the blues on Beale Street, Elvis's hometown. The guy gets carried away, thinks he's a magician. I'll tell you what. Anyway, let's talk about the North Stars. The holiday break is over for the North Stars. They were back in action at the Met Center tonight, and the Stars won a game by a score of 4-2. They beat Winnipeg. Dino Cicerelli got his 31st goal, but the big story tonight was goaltending. Donnie Beaupre, what a night he had. He kicked out 30 shots as the Stars win it 4-2. They will be, their next game is Sunday. Elsewhere in the National Hockey League tonight, Detroit over Toronto 4-2. Chicago leading St. Louis in the third, Montreal, Hartford tie, Pittsburgh, Buffalo tie. It's the Rangers over New Jersey 7-4, and Washington beat the Islanders. MISL soccer tonight. The Strikers lose to Dallas, their third in a row, 6-2. And that's going to do it right here from Beale Street. The heck with the blues. We're going to have a little country music here to go. What do you say, guys? The RT Scott Band. 1, 2, 3. See you guys later.
Boy, that man knows how to have fun. Thank you, Joe. There is no doubt that the crown jewel...
Finally in sports. Yes, sir, that must be it. Time again. Time to take charge into another exclusive KSTP sports reel. And believe me, this week's reel will really leave your head spinning. Just ask these guys. Here's the winner of this week's long jump competition. Watch out in the 8th row. God, that's a bad time to pick your seat. Minneapolis has unveiled plans for a basketball stadium should they get an NBA team. They don't have a name yet, but we have formally submitted a good suggestion to the city council. The NHL surprised the Soviets by beating them in the first game of Rendezvous 87. Soviet officials were just a little upset at the Soviet players, so they ordered them some extra work. It must have worked because the Russians beat the NHL in the second game, and that had Soviet officials singing just a little bit different tune. Miss Texas was crowned Miss USA last night in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Sports Reel did have a good contestant in that competition, but her downfall was the talent competition. She didn't have any. Finally, tonight, the KSTP media ski team took some time off from the competition to go on a little ski vacation. It was very relaxing for the team members. We had a chance to take it easy on the slopes. We even had some time to work on our form, and it's really something to see.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
That was good, wasn't it? Again, a really good one. Stan and I might have to cancel our subscription to the Star Tribune because the poll is wrong, Joe.
I took 4th place in the sportscaster.
They got it wrong.
Yeah, I wasn't too upset about that. You know what I was upset? One guy said I'm out here trying to imitate Joe Piscopo every night. Ludicrous, ridiculous, totally untrue. The big story, baseball, the Twins, bats, balls, peanuts, popcorn, new boss, and let's hope a new record. Okay, enough of that stuff. The Twins pitchers and catchers were on the field in Orlando today for their first workout of 1987. Not quite all hands on deck. Bert Blyleven has been excused to take care of some personal business, and Bert won't be in until the end of next week. Another player who could have taken the weekend off. Three, two, one. Horse racing is known as the sport of kings. Well, polo is the game of kings. But to play polo, you don't have to be royalty, or you don't have to be rich.
Stand the other way.
Yeah.
Great.
3. Are they coming?
Yeah, they're down there.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Horse racing is known as the sport of kings. Well, polo is the game of kings. But to play polo, you don't have to be royalty, or you don't have to be rich.
Go.
Horse racing is known as the sport of kings, while polo is the game of kings. But to play polo, you don't have to be royalty, or you don't have to be rich. 3, I'll do one more here just for the hell of it. 3, 2.
Okay.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Horse racing is known as the sport of kings, while polo is the game of kings. But to play polo, you don't have to be royalty, or you don't have to be rich.
Great.
Okay.
We've played so much and have a lot of fun watching those kids come on. Just like that's the reason we let the little guy out come down on the gray horse.
Oh, really? The young guy, huh? Okay.
Knew you guys were shooting at him, so that why in the hell not make a hero of it?
All right, Bill. You've been playing this game 40 years.
40 years, right?
What is it? What is it about this game that makes you play it for 40 years?
Well, it's just the thrill of being with the horse, making the horse do it, and playing a game with a bunch of guys and gals and young kids and old people and so on. But it's the real thrill of it is riding on the horses and making the horses do what you want them to do.
How much of this game is the horse?
Well, some people say 75%. I say 90%, because if the horse doesn't get you the ball, you're never going to hit her.
So you got to work with your horse to become one, basically, don't you?
That's true, absolutely. You got to get your horse, so you and your horse are working as a team, and then you're working together as a team of 4 people out there with other horses and trying to get the ball between the goalposts.
This is kind of a sport where not many people do it, but you guys are kind of in the minority. What do you think about that?
I just think there are not enough people coming out to do it. Everybody thinks it's a rich man's game, and I'm no rich man. It doesn't cost you that much to play, and it's one of the greatest games a guy has ever played. I played basketball, I played football, bowling, golf, and so on, but it's the greatest game there is.
What makes it so great? What?
Again, it's the horse and the fact that you're outside and you're doing something with a horse, you're training a horse, you're making the horse what you want to do, and it's kind of like golf. When you hit that ball, or a tennis shot, you know you've done it and done it right. That makes you want to come back and do it again.
You've been doing it for 40 years. How old do you think you can keep being before you have to
Well, my mentor will be in here next week, and he's 75, and he's going to play next week, so I hope to make her that long.
All right. Bill, my pleasure meeting you.
Thank you.
You bet.
No.
Okay. Jimmy, tell me what you like about this sport of polo.
Well, it's a lot of fun just going out there and hitting the ball. It's just a lot of fun to do. And I got interested in it because my dad did it. So I just like it.
You watched him play and you thought, hey, that's not that hard.
Yeah.
What's the toughest thing about it?
The back shots.
What's that? Explain it.
Well, when you take the shot and hit it backwards.
That's not the easiest thing to do, huh?
No.
What is it when you got the horse? You know, what's it like out there when you're doing it right?
I don't know. I practiced it for a while, so I don't really think about that. So I don't really know.
You just go out there and you're aggressive?
Yeah. Not really. I just sort of follow everyone else and hit the ball when I can.
You're kind of young to be playing this game, aren't you?
Yeah, I think so. I'm one of the younger guys here, so my brother plays too, though, and he's younger than me, but he doesn't play that much.
Good, fantastic. Nice to meet you.
Thanks.
We'll get you to take a half a step towards your horse here. We'll get you guys in there kind of together.
He was at the track last week.
Was he really? Was he racing there?
No, he was a lead horse.
Okay.
A trainer friend of mine called me.
You're standing next to your buddy there. How much of a part of this game is he?
About 75%.
What can he do to make you a better player?
Well, he'll get you to the play, stop, turn. That's what the game's about.
And with a good horse, you can be a lot better off than with an average horse.
Well, with a good handy horse, he's going to ball change its direction probably like it does in hockey. So just like a hockey skater, you have to be able to stop, turn, and get to the ball. It's your horse that does that. You have to tell him what to do, but still the horse has to have the ability to do that. And if he doesn't, you're just kind of frozen lemonade sitting around there.
So it's the communication plus. Are you at tape?
Yeah.
Okay, we got to switch the tape here real quick.